welcome back to my channel. Welcome to day 2. Hopefully I can get this filmed and uploaded by day 2 in It's Just Vlogmas, where hopefully every single day or most days for the month of December, I personally will be posting at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know there is so much content to watch during December, so if you have clicked on this video, thank you so much for choosing to have one of my videos be one that you are taking the time out to watch. But if you have to save this for later, I totally understand. And I actually do want to preface this video by saying, if you are someone looking to not be tempted to buy things, or you know, hauls maybe like trigger that thing in you where you feel like you have to buy and you're trying to not buy, this is not going to be a safe space for you today. And I'm honestly like kind of embarrassed, like genuinely kind of embarrassed by how many products I have to haul or share with you in today's makeup rehab series. I am going to finish out my makeup rehab series this year, but I'll be bringing this back in a different capacity next year, just because I have done this series for several years on my channel now, and I'm kind of shifting a little bit. I think next year I'm not going to be trying to bring in like every which way product. Like, I'm not going to be trying to bring in the most products next year, but I am going to be taking a bit of a step back from project panning. And I don't necessarily know that I want to call this makeup rehab next year, but I will still have kind of a catch-all video where I share with you any products coming into my collection in the month, as well as the products that are exiting. But this is my makeup rehab series for today, where I started the year with a beauty bank of 0, and for every makeup product that I purchased, I deducted like 1 credit. And then for every makeup empty that I have, that counts as like a credit back to my beauty bank. PR I am sharing with you in today's video or in this series, but I haven't counted that as like negative towards my beauty bank. And then palettes also don't count towards my beauty bank. There's all these like caveats, and I also take the time in this video to share other beauty, so all things non-makeup but still beauty that I brought into my collection, again just kind of as a catch-all to share all these things with you. There is so much to discuss today. I will have timestamps for everything, but as I mentioned, like, if you are triggered by hauls, maybe just skip this one. If you're interested in seeing all the things that came in though, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content, palette themed content, or just chit chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. All right, you guys, I will start by saying November historically, like I feel like historically November is like my highest spending month. The Sephora VIB happens, and usually aside from like eyeshadow palettes and maybe like a product here and there, I really reserve my Sephora purchases as much as I can for the VIB time. That's when I like to, you know, gather a bunch of products that I've been excited to test and try, and I buy them all at that time. So that's a piece of it. And then I have had like a lot of lingering gift cards and just like store credits places, and I also just think maybe I've been stressed out. I think maybe I've just allowed overconsumption to kind of like take over a little bit, because I'm like blocking out other like things that are stressing me out. So all of that to say, there's a lot to discuss, and I am so grateful, but there's so much PR to start with. And part of that is because C Beauty Mall reached out and basically sent me $500 to spend on the C Beauty Mall website. So $500 did I spend, and I was really excited when I saw that Kaleidos was on the C Beauty website, because I really do like Kaleidos, but I haven't purchased from them in a long time, and there's definitely some products that have been like lingering on my wish list for quite some time. So I'm gonna get into all of the products that I received from C Beauty Mall, and just know again it's a lot. It's overwhelming. Like, it's overwhelming even to me, because I'm like, how am I gonna test and try all this? Again, I am forever grateful, and like literally my heart still skips a beat anytime that I get a PR package. Like, it still feels so surreal to have received one PR package ever, let alone multiple in a month. So I just want you guys to know, like, I understand there's so much in today's video. It's a lot. I am forever grateful, and I know it's a lot. Can you tell I'm like slightly embarrassed? So I'm gonna start with these two from Kaleidos. These are two of their quads. The one thing I will say about the packaging with these, they are a little bit bulkier than I thought that they were. And I'm thinking like, okay, like a quad is something that's handy for travel, but these are like kind of bulky. But I do feel like they're like, the shadows in them would be well protected because there's also like some like puff padding. They're just a little bit thicker, but they are weighted too. So they do feel like nice and like weighted. But I did get the cold brew quad, which looks like this. I feel like I've had my eye on the cold brew quad since this release. I have actually already used this quad in its entirety. I do think it's really beautiful and I could see myself absolutely traveling with this. The sparkly shade in here is really sparkly, and then I like the like neutral / cool leaning brown tones. I feel like this is just like a really convenient, really easy reach. I actually wore this to my friend's birthday and I really liked it. And then I also picked up Venus Trap, which I have not yet gotten around to, I think this is Venus Trap, which I have not yet gotten around to testing out, but it is really beautiful. Again, more on the cool tone side, but we have almost like a cool toned like blush pink, and then almost like some grays. Gray browns, which I'm like, not always my favorite. And then again, a really beautiful sparkly shade up here. Not the most exciting color story, but I figured it's always nice to have these like easy reaches from time to time also for travel. So I picked those two up, and then I also did grab 3 of the blushes. Again, thicker packaging, not my favorite packaging I've ever seen. And the other thing I will say is the shade names are not like on here anywhere, so I'm not exactly sure what shades these are. But I picked up this shade right here. This is a really beautiful kind of baby pink shade, kind of that trendy shade, reminds me a bit of the Dior like rosy, the pink one. And I figured if I don't like this, my daughter certainly will. So I also had that in mind when picking this out. And then the other two, I'm like, this one I think is gonna be really pretty. I have been really into more of like a very neutral or natural blush. Like I feel like that's what I've been saying I've been loving this year. So I kind of liked this one because it was a little bit more cool leaning, like a cool toned pink, yet still very, very like natural, like not gonna likely show up as much on the cheeks. So I'm really excited to give this one a try. And then I also picked this one up because again, I was thinking this would be almost like a bronzer, but like a not there bronzer blush. Like I knew that this barely had any pigment to it at all. And I will say, getting this in person and seeing it, it even looks like lighter in person. So I'm honestly not sure if this is going to work out for me. I feel like the shade might actually end up being a little bit too light, but we'll see. I have also had my eye on the Kaleidos blushes since these launched, so I'm excited to see what I think about that. And then also from Kaleidos, okay, I've been telling you guys, there is like something about me that's getting really excited about like liquid lipsticks again. And I think it's because this summer I was really getting into like a lip stain and like more of like a permanent color on my lip throughout the day rather than just like a glossy lip. So I've heard so many good things about the Kaleidos like lip velvets. I forget the exact name for these, but I want to say they're like their matte liquid lip product, but they're called like a velvet. I feel like they're supposed to be more comfortable. At least I feel like that's what I've heard. So I picked up 3 shades in the lip velvets, and I'll swatch these out for you guys right now. So I think the lightest one I have is the shade NU07. And I will actually say I have worn one of these shades out already, and it was a very, very comfortable formula. So there's NU07. This is a really beautiful, almost like a little bit warm toned, like pinky brown. Then I have the shade NU02, which I believe is the shade, yes, this is the shade that I have already worn out. Kind of like a mid-toned rosy shade. It reminded me a lot of MAC Over the Taupe when I wore this, and I love MAC Over the Taupe, so I was very excited about that. I also will say I really like the applicator on this because it does come to quite a fine point, so it really made like my Cupid's bow area easier to apply. The last shade that I got, I wanted to get a bit more of like a bolder shade, a bit of a red. So this is BE01, and there is that one swatched right there. So I did pick up 3 of the lip velvets because I was like, okay, I'm gonna take advantage of me not actually spending like my own money on these, and I'm gonna start to like revamp my liquid lipstick collection, because again, I can feel myself getting into liquid lips again, which is kind of crazy to say. And then I've also been really curious about the Kaleidos lip baths. I feel like it was Angie that talked about these in her favorites last year, and they've kind of been on my radar ever since. But again, I'm just like never purchasing from the Kaleidos website. I feel like I used to be so excited about Kaleidos, and now I just like, it's a brand that I don't even really think about up until now. But there is that shade swatched right there. This is in the shade 100. I want to say this is called like Skinny Dip. Just a really beautiful nude. It looks very glossy. Swatch it on the hand. I have not yet reached for this, but I am really excited about this shade. I think it's gonna be really pretty. I'm gonna try and wipe these swatches off now as to not like totally stay in my hand. I think that is everything from Kaleidos, and then I did pick up a few more products. So there's so many lip products, you guys. I'm like so embarrassed, because I was talking about in my last several makeup inventories how I wanted to like cut down on my lip inventory because it's out of control. And I feel like I've just bought, like I feel like half of the makeup that I brought into my collection this year, at least half I feel like, is lip products. But a couple of non-lip products I did pick up from Josie. I honestly have no idea how to pronounce this name. I picked up this blush, which is in the shade B01, I believe. And actually, when this arrived to me, I couldn't remember if I had purchased a blush or a bronzer. Like I honestly couldn't remember. I remember I really liked the outer packaging of this, and like I was like, I want to try, you know, a couple of brands and a couple of their like color cosmetics. I really didn't get a lot of, aside from Kaleidos. So I thought this was a bronzer, not a blush. And then I went back and looked at my order, and indeed it is a blush, but I actually wore this out as a bronzer. And I will say it was like, definitely like, it was like a bit more pigmented, because I think it's like a little bit more concentrated as a blush than a bronzer. I don't know. But I feel like this honestly might work better for me as an actual bronzer. I really liked it as a bronzer. So we might keep trying it that way. Perhaps I'll try it as a blush, but it honestly looks like it looks like a bronzer to me. So we might just keep using it that way. All right, then from the brand Girls Crush, I have this really beautiful highlight. This is in the shade Moonlight Dance. It looks like this. I will say, oh my gosh, like it is so pretty. It has a little cowboy hat embossed into that, and you know, I'm a cowgirl at heart. Okay, I am gonna swatch this out for you. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but it is very glittery. Like I do see micro glitter kind of running throughout it. But I feel like this is going to make such a beautiful eyeshadow. Like it's giving ColourPop Ritz. It's giving almost like a Moondust shadow. Like just kind of like a wet lid topper shade. So I might end up using it more that way. I think it looks beautiful as like a wet lid topper. So more to come on that. I haven't tried that on the face yet. I haven't tried that other than swatching it yet. But I was just thinking, okay, that definitely looks more like a eyeshadow to me, or something I would use as an eyeshadow rather than like an actual highlight, just because of all the glitter. We'll see. Okay, the only other thing I have before we get into the actual like lip products is this pink powder, this pink loose powder from Flower Nose. This is, how cute is that? Like a very pink powder. And I will say, when I ordered online, you got like a free, if you spent over $79, you got like a mystery box. And this came in the mystery box. This isn't something I actually selected for myself, but I was just swatching a bit of it right there. I couldn't decide if I thought this was like a blush or if I thought this was like truly a powder and just like a pink powder for underneath the eyes, because it looks like a very pink powder in here. It says Swan Ballet Series Music Box Loose Setting Powder. Okay, so it is an actual setting powder. This reminds me almost of, well, it reminds me of like the Nutcracker, like almost like a music box. Did it say music box? Yep, it sure did. Or it kind of reminds me of, I had this like little jar when I was little that when I lost my teeth, like you would put your teeth in the jar and keep them. Anyone else? kind of reminds me of that. All right, let's talk about all the lip products. I will say I was keeping my daughter in mind with some of these lip products because she's definitely getting more into like playing with makeup, not going to school in her makeup. Like that's not allowed yet, but like playing with makeup on the weekends, getting into like having fun with skincare. So I was like, okay, what are some cute things that she also might like? So I have these two really cute little, I don't even know what these are, moisturizing crystal lip jellies. First of all, I also just love mushrooms, can you tell? So I thought these were so cute. And it does have like a little applicator, but like, is anything on the applicator? I don't know. Like, I'm not exactly certain how to get this product out yet. Oh, the lip balm is around where you put this in. Oh, interesting. So you like rub, okay, that's actually really interesting. Very interesting concept. So I have like a mid-toned red and then I have more of like a berry tone shade. Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited to give these a try. And again, I figured I would also share these with my daughter. Because at least if we're getting all this makeup, we gotta share the love. We gotta share. Okay, I also from Joycey. This is, I don't know. Some of these don't exactly say what they are on the product, but this is just a lip balm. And I'm like, is this actually this dark? Yep, it is. Oh, that makes me a little bit nervous. Sometimes when a lip balm, except for that almost looks kind of like a lip lacquer when you put it on. Sometimes these are just so emollient that they just like slip outside the lip lines and you can't really trust it. But I feel like that packaging is really cute. And I'm excited to try some brands that like maybe I haven't heard of yet. And just kind of get a feel for, you know, some C Beauty brands. That does make me really excited. I feel like I've heard really good things about C Beauty, so I'm excited to try these things. Also in the mystery box, I have this sitting off to the side here with a hair on it, is a little twinkling eyeshadow. Oh, there's still a sticker on it. I might not take that off yet. It looks like this really beautiful kind of peachy pink little glitter. And again, if I don't like that, I'm sure my daughter would love that. All right, from Hue, I also, again, might be saying that wrong. I have another lip balmy type product. Okay, those two look to be very similar in shade. They also look to be, they kind of look like they're reminding me of like the texture of maybe like one of the YSL like lip glazes or the Makeup by Mario lip glazes. Again, I get a little bit nervous with a deeper shade and a lip glaze like this just because you never know if it's gonna stay in the lip lines. But again, I thought the packaging on this was also just so cute. Okay, also this packaging, like we definitely bought it for the packaging. Like the aesthetic, so cute. This is from, I think this is Girls Crush, I could be wrong, Go-Go Tales. This is just a little kind of lip lacquer. There is swatched right there. With this order too, I was trying to like not just go for like my everyday nude, more pinky brownie shade. I was trying to get shades that maybe I might not already have in my collection. So again, this is a little bit bolder. I want to say some, if not all of these also might be like, they're supposed to be stains on the lips. But oh, the packaging on that is just so cute. All right, then I have already tried this. First of all, again, with the packaging, very interesting, very unique. This, I'm not sure which brand this is from, but it looks just like a little globe. And then the applicator on this is really interesting. It's, yeah, kind of like a plastic applicator. And I believe this is just like a lip oil, like a clear lip oil, but it does have some sparkle running throughout. I actually really enjoy this. The one thing I will say though, and I've only tried this 2 days thus far, is this might dry your lips out. Like I'm like, it's also Minnesota, like it's cold here, like my lips might just be actually drying out, but I feel like this might feel nice and hydrating at the time, but then like actually dry the lips out. But it is really beautiful and I think the packaging is really interesting and unique. All right, 2 more lip products, then we'll be through the C Beauty Mall haul portion of this. From Judy Doll, is this like the iced tea lip gloss? I can't remember. Okay, very interesting applicator again. I feel like this is like a metal applicator. Again, okay, I feel like all of these shades are really kind of looking the same. This one may be more like a little bit more of like a brick red, reddy orange, but again, more of like a lip lacquer. I think this one is actually supposed to be a stain. It does feel a bit sticky, but I also feel like this shade could be really beautiful for the summertime if it is more of like that like kind of orangey terracotta brown. I'm gonna wipe some of these off really quick just because I don't want to get stuff everywhere. And then the final product that I have here is this one. I'm like, did I pick this up? No, this must have come in the free gift with purchase. This looks to be like a liquid glitter eyeliner. So again, if I don't like this, I'm sure my daughter will. I honestly feel like there's like lingering products that like I'm forgetting about, but trust me, I'm still gonna have, I've already had way too much to show you in this video. All right, let's get into some more PR. Sometimes I totally forget that Bare Minerals will send me things from time to time. So I was really excited to receive a little holiday kit from them. So they sent me this cute little holiday package with 5 products from them. One being a primer. This is the Primetime Hydrate and Glow Primer. I've actually been using this the last several days. I do think this is really beautiful. You guys know I definitely prefer more of a gripping primer, and I like to get my hydration out of my skincare, but I also have really dry skin. So sometimes it is nice to also have a hydrating primer. I also feel like this does have a nice, beautiful glow to it. So I'm not mad at this. I don't think this is something I would seek out to repurchase after finishing it, but I am really enjoying this thus far. They also sent over one of their lip liners, which I'm really excited about. This is in the shade Striking Spice. I've definitely been getting into lip liners this year, so I'm excited to try out their formula. And this is a really beautiful, more like mid-toned, warm, rosy shade. Yes, final answer. Rosy shade. All right, then we have this beautiful kind of lip balm lipstick sort of situation. There it is swatched right there. Just a really beautiful, almost transparent, yet not quite transparent, balmy product that actually feels really, really nice. And I feel like over top of that lip liner, those two would pair really beautifully together. This looks a lot deeper like in the actual packaging, but I actually really like the way that that's swatched, and I feel like I might end up really liking this. Haven't tried it at all, but in terms of the shade, I feel like I might actually love that. I don't know how I missed this, but apparently they came out with the bronzer in liquid form. So this is Kiss of Copper in liquid form, and I'm very excited to try this because I love Kiss of Copper in powder form. That was like my favorite blush for like a year after that released. So I'm very excited to give this a try in the liquid form. And then finally, I am so excited about this because I definitely had my eye on these when they first launched, but then I saw Lauren from Lauren May Beauty review one of the shades, and she was like, I don't know about this, but then I think she tried a couple other shades and she was like, actually, this is really beautiful. And I want to say Mauve Glow is one of these shades that has been received better. This is the Gen Nude Highlighting Blush Illuminator. I love a glowier cheek, so this really excites me, and I feel like this type of a shade is going to be absolutely stunning for this time of year. There it is swatched out. Obviously, this is not going to be like a highlight for me. I'm also thinking of the Say like highlighter blush topper sort of situation I have. I wonder if those two would layer beautifully together, but I feel like maybe with the light hand, because this is very glowy, that could be a really, really beautiful blush. Or maybe mixing this with the like Indian Rose shade from Lawless, I feel like might be really beautiful. I've only swatched this just now. I haven't tried this one on the cheeks, but I'm really excited to give that a try because like I said, that's something that was like on my radar when I saw Bare Minerals release those earlier this year. All right, you guys know I love What's Up Beauty, and I've actually been like kind of anticipating a palette release from them, but I was so excited when I received an email saying that they are expanding their makeup range. What I love about What's Up Beauty is they are an indie brand that doesn't just release eyeshadow palettes, like they are expanding their actual makeup range, and they make such good products. So they have come out with bronzers and blushes. I actually am wearing one of their blushes today. Again, I think I may have over applied, but they came out with these really beautiful blushes and bronzers. I will say the packaging is a little bit thicker, and I don't think it's like the most sophisticated packaging ever, but I still think like I do like the colors. I love like a pink and a purple. So this is what the bronzer looks like. It's a really beautiful kind of marbled formula. It is a baked formula, and I have used the bronzer twice. I've used the shade Medium once, which is this shade right here, and then I've also used the lightest shade once, which is this shade right here. I think that both of them are beautiful. I think that the lighter one definitely has more of like a neutral slash cool leaning, not like super cool, more neutral leaning effect to it, which I feel like works well for cooler more fair people for the most part. And then I do really like the medium. I had self-tanned at one point, and this one is just like slightly warmer and obviously a little bit deeper, and I thought that this one was really beautiful as well. I did set aside the other two shades that they sent to me just because I don't feel like I need 4, and I feel like the deeper shades are obviously not going to work for me, so I will pass those along. But only tried these twice so far. I'm really pleased with them. And then there are 4 blush shades that we have, and I have tried all 4 of them at least once. So up first we have Cheeky Tari, and I will try and swatch these for you guys. Actually, maybe I should swatch them on this hand where I don't have tattoos. Okay, there is Cheeky Tari, this really beautiful yet very light pink. I've used this one once. It was really pretty, but it honestly took a little bit. I will say the blush formula in general is a little bit more buildable, as well as the bronzer. It's not going to be like the most pigmented right off the bat, and this one definitely took some building just because it is, you know, a much lighter shade. And I also feel like this is not like my perfect blush shade. Like, it's not exactly what I'm looking for in a blush, but I definitely wanted to give that one a try. I wanted to try all the blushes. Selfishly, I wanted to try them all. Second, we have, sorry, Cheeky Tree might be it's the name of the blush formula. This one was Peaceful Pizza. Peaceful Pizza. I'm making myself sound real stupid here. All right, the second one we have here is Serene Sienna. Yes, Serene Sienna. There is Serene Sienna. And as you can tell, those two are kind of similar. Like, I feel like this one is just a slightly deeper version of the Peaceful Pizza. Peaceful Pizza. We're going with Peaceful Pizza. And each of these, I will say, like, I like them, but they're not like, they're a little bit more pinky than I typically am going when I personally am looking for a blush. The third and fourth shade, a bit slightly deeper shades, are definitely like more my style, more up my alley. So here we have Relaxed Roma, and there is Relaxed Roma right there. I feel like this is such a beautiful shade, especially for like the fall winter time. It has like almost a bit of mauviness to it, but it's more like pinky brown. I love a shade like that. That shade is gonna get so much use out of me. And I will say, Gentle Genova, which is on my cheeks today, I wasn't planning to really reach for this one. I was like, I probably won't get use out of that until like next spring, summertime, just because it looks a little bit deeper. It doesn't necessarily look like something that's gonna work for me right now. But then I was trying to try everything, and I will say I do really enjoy this. I've reached for this one actually the most. I think I've reached for this one 4 times at this point. There it is swatched right there. Again, kind of similar to the Roma one, but this one is maybe a little bit warmer or like reddy pink base, but I think both of those are so beautiful. They have the slightest amount of a sheen to them, in my opinion. They're not like a totally matte blush, but they're also like, if you are someone who typically likes a matte blush, I don't think that the finish of this is going to totally turn you off. It's more of like a satin finish, and I just think these are absolutely stunning. Again, these two, the darker two, are definitely the ones that I think I'll get the most use out of. I actually think I might pass this one along to my daughter because she'll love it. But so far, really excited about yet another new launch, and not just like a repetitive launch from What's Up Beauty, and I'm excited to keep playing around with this. All right, and then the last of the PR, one of my absolute favorite brands, Flawless Beauty, sent me 2 PR packages. And I've told you guys this before, I feel like Flawless can just like sense when I'm having a bad day, and then like a PR package just magically shows up. So the first thing that they sent over is they actually sent over 5 of my favorite lip gloss of literal all time, the Lawless Forget the Filler. And I set aside, I think Cherry Vanilla, because I have so many of them. But I was really excited because I was like, oh, now I'm going to do a reel where I basically swatch every Lawless Forget the Filler shade, because I needed a restock of a couple of shades, and I got that with this. So I was really excited about that. I did have to go and purchase 3 more additional from Sephora, and then I realized Lawless's site has exclusive shades, and I actually was just on the Lawless site to see what their Black Friday deal is, which is 30% off, but all of these site exclusive shades are sold out. So I'm like, I'm just gonna film the reel with the shades you can get at Sephora. Very excited, always excited to have more Lawless Forget the Fillers in my life. And then they sent over these cute duos that they must be coming out with. I don't know if these are permanent or if these are just for the holiday, but there is a Lawless Plump and Pout duo. Looks like it retails for $32, and this comes with the lip plumping balm stick and the lip plumping gloss. So the Forget the Filler in Rosy Outlook, which is the almost clear shade. It's this very sheer pink. It's like their original shade. And then the balm stick is in pink marshmallow. Again, like kind of the sheer pink sort of shade. I actually am going to set this aside and put this in my daughter's stocking because I have both of these. I don't need them. And then I will likely also put this in my daughter's stocking. This is the Daisy Lip Plumping Duo. And in this, you are getting the Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Satin Cream Lipstick and the Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. So you get the Daisy Girl Gloss. Yes, it is the Lawless Forget the Filler in Daisy Girl. And then, which I have. And then you also get the lipstick in Daisy Girl, which I'm sure I also have because they sent me all their lipsticks earlier this year. I wanted to share these. These won't be entering like my personal collection, but I'm putting them in my daughter's stocking. They'll enter her collection. And then the final PR product that I received this past month was a new eyeshadow palette from Alter Ego, and this is their Sundown eyeshadow palette. And you guys, what palette is this duping? I literally cannot figure it out. Normally I always am like, I know right off the bat, normally I have the dupe palette, and I literally am looking at this. Oh, was it the Natasha Denona? Oh, is it My Dream? Why did that take me? I've used this palette already, and I've like opened this several times and haven't been able to put two and two together. Okay, is it? Is this the one it's supposed to be duping? Maybe. It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be, yeah. Okay. I was like, dang, Alter Ego's really out here doing it, like creating their own color story. I think this is beautiful. I honestly sometimes feel like the way that Alter Ego lays out their palettes just aesthetically or cohesively makes more sense in my mind sometimes than the Natasha Denona. And I will say I've finally gotten around to starting to test the Mist Haven palette, and Alter Ego's like sparkly shadows sparkle all throughout the day. Like they actually do have such a good formula, and I think sometimes because I typically already have the dupe palette, I like will sometimes right off the palette I'm like, okay, I can pass this along to like my mom, my sister, my friends, my daughter, because I already have the palette. But I was like, I really wanted to try Mist Haven because it looked so aesthetically pleasing the way that they had laid the shadows out. And then it was the same situation with this. The other day I wore the shade Afterglow, and it is such a beautifully sparkly, just like, oh, it's such a pretty shade. So I'm so excited to continue to test and try this. If you were thinking about the Natasha Denona My Dream, honestly, Alter Ego does have such a good formula. I do have a code with them, so you can save, I believe it's 10%, and usually their palettes are under $25. So honestly, just save yourself the money from Natasha Denona. I love Natasha Denona, trust me, I do, but I really am so impressed with the Alter Ego formula. Their shadows are also, their pans are also magnetic, so you can mix and match. And I'm just so impressed with their sparkly shades lately. So this is their newest, and I will leave a link for it down below, as I will all of these products. I doubt I can fit everything in one description box, so we'll see what actually ends up in there, but we finally made it through. We finally made it through the PR. Wow. Oh, no, we haven't. No, we haven't. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was so excited about this. So I am a part of the like Ulta affiliate program. So I can like link my, I should figure out how to create like an Ulta storefront. But anyway, they sent me an email and they asked if they could send me a gift card and a makeup bag to put like my goodies in that I pick with my gift card. And I was like, wait, really? Like Ulta? So they sent over this. I actually already have quite a few products in this. They sent over this makeup bag, and this is so nice. I like this because it stands up a little bit, and I kind of just have like my everyday like go-to products. Like I literally basically just have a makeup bag ready to go for like an overnight or several overnights, but it's also a lot of the products that I love that I just have sitting out in front of me that I can use to get ready every day. You guys, I'm so obsessed with this makeup bag. There's so many different little like compartments in here. I really was like, wow, oh my gosh, thank you Ulta out here doing things. I don't know that this is available on the site. I was looking the other day to like link this and I could not find it. But if I do, I will leave a link for this because I absolutely love this. Like, I love the size. I love everything about this. So thank you, honestly, so much, Ulta, and to all the brands that sent me products. I truly, like I said, am forever grateful. And it's like my heart literally still skips a beat anytime I get a PR package. We've been filming for 50 minutes, so we definitely do need some more gloss. All right, we are moving into the section of the video that I like to call Other Beauty. And this is really just where I share all things other beauty that I brought into my collection, kind of as a catch-all to just share with you any like new skincare, hair care, fragrance, nail polish, things like that. So I do have quite a bit. You know, I'm blaming like Ulta app 5 times points, like things like that. Let's start with fragrance actually. So during the VIB sale, I did pick up the Jo Malone Ginger Biscuit fragrance, and I'm so freaking glad that I did. This sold out. Like, I placed my Sephora VIB purchase like at 11, I think it was like 11 Pacific, no, sorry, 11 Central Standard Time. Like literally the moment I could. And when I woke up the next morning and logged onto the Sephora site at like maybe 7 or 8 in the morning, this had already like sold out. And this is something that I wanted to pick up last year, talked myself out of it, then regretted not picking up. So I'm very glad that I got this. It has such a nice light, kind of like molasses cookie scent. It's nothing too overpowering, nothing too gourmand, because I'm not someone who likes to smell like a sweet cookie or anything. So I'm so pleased with that. Then I made that mistake I've told you guys about, where I watched someone else's like recommendations video, and Julia Adams was talking about the new YSL Flower and Flames like Libre, part of their Libre scent line. I don't know. And I was looking at the notes on this, and there was a lavender note in it. And Julia Adams also said that this kind of was her replacement to Replica by the Fireside. She didn't say they smelled like dupes, but this was like her new fall cozy scent. So I was like, I have to get my nose on that. I ordered the travel size, and I ended up loving this one so much that with part of my Ulta gift card that they sent over, I did actually end up purchasing a 3 ml, 30 ml, 1 ml, 1 fluid ounce. 1 fluid ounce. How beautiful is this bottle? It's so beautiful. You guys, clearly I do really enjoy this because I've used, you know, at least a third of this. I've been wearing that one a lot. I've been wearing my Jo Malone a lot as well. But with that YSL, it also came with this cute little bag. I mean, it's kind of cheap feeling, but I thought this was kind of cute, like a little black clutch. And then it also came with the Libre Parfumed Body Balm. Not that I really care to have like a heavily scented like fragrant body cream, but you know, it's nice. I'll use it. I also picked up a new pack of the Sephora facial razor set. This is by far the best facial razor I personally have used. I feel like it is, these are so sharp, you like actually have to be very careful with them, but you get such a good peach fuzz shave with this. So I did pick that up. And then also from Ulta, okay, don't judge this. I literally grabbed this out of my shower area. I used it last night. I'm exposing myself for the dirty girl that I am. This is a new one from Tree Hut. This is the Enchanting Emerald Sugar Scrub Spray. Not Sugar Scrub Spray. Sugar Scrub. This one smells so good. It kind of has like a clean scent to it. It says it's Prosecco and Sandalwood. I'm like, it has like a clean scent to it, but it also has like a bit of a woodsy scent to it. I really like to smell like I was just outside rolling around in the leaves. Not that I actually want to be outside rolling around in the leaves, because like you could possibly get a tick, and that's my literal greatest fear in life is ticks, in case you were wondering. A couple of hair products that I picked up. Actually, let's talk. I also picked up, I re-upped on my Tree Hut moisturizing shave oil. I really do like the Tree Hut shave oil. I also have enjoyed using a shaving cream again, but honestly, it just is a lot of effort to like spray the shaving cream out, and I feel like the shave oil just hydrates my skin as I'm shaving. So I picked up the scent Moonlight Glow, which I really like because it kind of has that like almost like masculine sort of scent to it. So I grabbed that. 2 hair care products I picked up. I needed a new heat protectant. I didn't immediately go out and purchase the Bumble and Bumble. I grabbed the Not Your Mother's 10-in-1 All Eyes on Me Hair Perfector. I've used this, I think 3 or 4 times at this point, and I like it. I actually do really like this one. I'm like, maybe I don't have to always get the Bumble and Bumble one. I do love and will always recommend Bumble and Bumble's Heat Protectant. It is excellent. I've been using it for probably close to 10 years at this point in time, but I wanted to try something new, something a little bit less expensive, and I've been happy with this one the few times that I've used it. I did pick up the Redken Acetic Bonding Concentrate 5-minute liquid mask. Actually, when I was in Okoboji with my family this summer, my sister had this and I used it in the shower, and I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, that's actually like such a nice mask. I feel like it is something that like I could feel a difference in my hair like the next several days. What is happening with my hair here? Like, it wasn't like, okay, my hair felt like soft while I was like rinsing the conditioner out. Like, my hair literally felt smoother, less dry for like days following. And my hair is just, you know, been feeling not the best lately. And I was like, you know what? I want to purchase that Redken mask. So I've used this 3 times now since purchasing, and I really do. I feel like it makes such a difference in my hair. The one thing I will note is my sister, who has much more like fine hair than me, has said she personally feels like it is a little bit too heavy in her hair. I have extremely thick dry hair, and I feel like it works well for mine. So if you are someone who has more fine hair, this mask might be a little bit too heavy for you. Okay, during the VIB sale, my daughter and I went in to like swatch, like we just went in for like a girls' day. We were swatching all of the milk jelly tints. Again, she's like really getting into like being a preppy girl, and I was like, please, dear God, no, like you don't want to actually be a preppy girl. But we were in Sephora, we were swatching the milk jelly tints, and we walked by the Topicals like display, and I'm always drawn to the Topicals like packaging because it's kind of has that like 70s sort of like groovy vibe. And it was like right after I had started using tretinoin, and I literally looked like a walking human lizard because my skin was flaking off so badly. And so I saw this, and it is a hydrating moisturizer for dry, eczema prone skin. I also feel like last year and then this year I feel like I have something like on the back of my scalp. It's so freaking itchy, but like as I look at it, I don't necessarily see like an eczema patch, but also like by my eyes here, I will get these like really exceptionally dry patches. Last year I was, you know, extremely stressed because still going through all of the divorce whatever process, and I had like a rash on my skin and elbows and even my hip that like literally wouldn't go away. So I was like, I think I might possibly have some eczema patches. So anyway, all that to say, I thought that this might be helpful for like the outer corners of my eye. The one thing I will say about this is it does say to be careful with this by your eyes. So I really do try and like make sure I'm being extra careful. And I've only used this by my eyes so far, and I've only used it like 4 or 5 times thus far. So I really don't have much of a review for you, but I'm excited to keep trying this. I'm excited to keep testing this. I feel like this was like the first skincare purchase in a while that I've like thought to myself, like, I have an issue with my skin and I feel like this could be of benefit to it. As I've told you guys a lot the last several years, I just have so much backup skincare that's just like left over from subscription boxes that I feel like I haven't actually like selected skincare personally for myself, and I'm really excited about this one. And then the final 2 other beauty products I have to share are some nail things. So I wanted to share these cuties. These are from Olive & June. My daughter and I have been buying these this month, and they have some really cute ones for Christmas. She actually has a set on right now. They're much too long for her. I told her that, but it is what it is. But they have this really beautiful kind of white chrome set. They have like a silver chrome set, which I'm really excited about. They have this green one, which kind of has that like velvet sort of design, and I got these at Walgreens. Actually, I know it's available at Target as well, but Walgreens had like buy one get one half off. So if you like press-on nails, I just wanted to shout out this brand. I'm most excited for the green one personally. They also had really cute like Halloween sets, so definitely a brand to kind of keep on your radar if you like press-on nails. And then speaking of nail polish or nails, I've gone a little buck wild. Now that Holo Taco is in Ulta, I tried one shade and I just couldn't stop, and I just kept buying more and more shades. I bought 6 shades this month. I do love nail polish. I will say, Essie used to be like my brand, and now I don't really love Essie anymore. I'm really impressed with the Holo Taco formula. Right now I have on the shade Waste of Space, and I feel like these ones like don't actually like chip. They kind of like peel off in like a full layer when they're ready to come off, but they last a good amount of time. They look so beautiful on the nails. Like, I am so excited about these. Like I said, I'm wearing Waste of Space, which is kind of like this black with almost like a copper orangey sort of sparkle to it. And I do have different formulas. I'm not exactly sure, and it doesn't say on here which formula is which. This one right here is Lost in the Woods, which is this really beautiful kind of emerald green with a beautiful sparkle to it. Then I have red licorice, which I'm really excited about for the holidays. I don't always love a red nail, but I figured like a red sparkly nail could be really fun for this time of year. The first polish that I purchased from Holo Taco was one of the like nail toppers. This is in Aurora Unicorn Skin, and this is a really fun one. It's this like purple flaky sort of polish that just really adds something special to the nails to like layer over top of things. I also love to find different like nail polish combinations to layer. Love that. I swear that's like a hobby of mine. And then these two are my newest. I have not tried either of these two yet. So we have Polar Princess, which is one of the nail toppers. This looks like such a beautiful, like ethereal, like such a special shade when I saw it like online. So I'm really excited about this one. I feel like there's so many shifts to it. Like I feel like I see a blue and a green and a peach and a pink. So I'm really excited about this. And then I also picked up Pop Rocker, which is a really fun sparkly pink because we love a pink. My favorite nail colors are blue, like to do would be blue and pink. And then like I really was a huge fan of this green, but I also used a bit of like a blue topper with it, so it made this like really beautiful tealy blue shade. And I actually like, I'm not always like a black nail polish type of a girl, but I feel like this has been working for me, so I'm a big fan of Waste of Space as well. I should stop talking about extra little add-ons with everything because this video is going to be 2 hours long. Okay, that is all other beauty. I'm gonna go clear off this and I'm gonna bring in all of the actual makeup I purchased this month. Sorry, totally forgot there is one more other beauty product. I couldn't not. Okay, someone was talking about this. It's the Fenty Butter Drop Toasted Marshmallow Shimmering Whipped Body Oil. It's this year's like holiday scent. They were describing it as like this smokier scent, and I was like, this could go one of two ways, because Toasted Marshmallow, the candle from Bath and Body Works, still to this day makes me so nauseous because that was like burning in the first trimester of pregnancy for me, and I like, oh, it brings back so much nausea. Like it brings back the scent memory of nausea. This I do like. I will say I think I like last year's just a little bit better. That is like a scent dupe to the Cinnamon Butter from Texas Roadhouse. This definitely has a bit more of like a smokiness to it mixed with a sweetness. I think it's a really nice scent. It really does have like a cozy feel to it. I just think if I had to pick between the two, I personally would pick last year's, but I'm still really happy to have this. This one, I'm mad at myself because I told myself, I was like, girl, you know when we get to Black Friday time, this is going to go on sale even further. And it did. It did. So I need to remember that for next year. I don't need to feel like the scent is going to get sold out. Like it's still going to be around when we get closer to Black Friday, and then it's like already discounted. So if you guys are interested in this, check the Sephora website right now. It was maybe like $32 when I was looking last night, and it originally retails for like 46 bucks. So there's that. I've been filming so long, I forgot what order we film these videos in. We need to talk about the palettes that came in before we get into my makeup purchases. So I do have 6 eyeshadow palettes, aside from the other 3 that I got in PR, so the 2 quads from Kaleidos, as well as the Alter Ego palette. I did bring in an additional 6 eyeshadow palettes, 2 of which I had purchased during the Sephora VIB sale haul. So I did get the Danessa Myricks Groundworks Blooming Romance. I was really interested in this just because I like my original Groundworks so much. And I haven't used every single shade in this palette, but I am very happy to have this. I think that this will add a lot of value in terms of like a utilitarian palette, especially when I'm wanting to do something more pink leaning or more purple leaning. I do think that this will be a nice palette to have in my collection. And then I did pick up the Icy Nude palette from Huda Beauty just because I do pretty much collect these at this point in time. It's not my favorite color story that Huda Beauty has ever come out with, but I do think it's a fun one for this time of year, and I'm not mad to have purchased it. I do like to point out, like, this is one of the worst pressed glitters I think I've ever felt. So it almost feels like we're only getting 17 shades as opposed to 18 shadows. But it is beautiful if you like this color story. And then I did purchase the Polar Express palette from Nomad. I could not deny the beautiful blue color story mixed with, you know, you just still have some pops of neutrals and warms. I love blue eyeshadow, and I will say I have been a critic of Nomad in the past, but I have reached for this palette a couple of times so far, and I am pretty impressed with the formula. I definitely feel like they have been making improvements to both their matte and shimmer formulas, and I did create a look with this palette that I was really, really pleased with. So I'm excited to keep playing around with this one, and I'm happy that I picked this one up. And then I had to from Unearthly. Oh my gosh, when I first saw the teaser photos of the swatches of the special shadows in this palette, and still like we didn't have the full color story, I was like, yep, I'm definitely going to need that. I think this is such a fun palette, such a fun color story. I like that we have reds and greens and yellows and purples. And again, these special shadows just look so incredibly special within this eyeshadow palette. I was also thinking about picking up the Gargoyle palette, and I will say if Unearthly does their flash sale where they do like 50% off, which I know they did, I swear, like around December last year, I would pick up Gargoyle, but I really am feeling so stressed with the amount of palettes still in my collection to finish testing so that I can rank before the end of the year that I was like, girl, we cannot buy all the palettes. I actually think I'm going to try and hold off on purchasing the Cosmic Beauty like Wonderland palette. I of course purchased the NC Rain palette. I literally set my alarm for 2 a.m. when it launched my time, and like swear I was still in a dreamlike state when I purchased that palette. But I feel like I'm really going to try in December to like not purchase and just focus on like wrapping everything up, really getting my full thoughts on everything, and then starting afresh in January, which I also want to do like a no buy in January and February possibly. Maybe we'll buy a few palettes. But okay, the final two palettes. With Ensley Rain, I do have a code with them, and when you guys shop using my code, I get store credit to spend at Ensley Rain, which is amazing because then I get to test and try more products and let you guys know what's worth it and what is not. So never any pressure to use my code, but always thank you guys so much when you do use my code. It really does help me out, and I was able to get quite a few products from Ensley Rain. I didn't just get palettes, but there were a couple palettes that I still didn't own. One of them being the Twisted Tea Party palette, and this actually was on sale when I purchased it as well, so that worked out really nicely. This is a really fun color story in my opinion. I like that we have blues, purples, pinks, greens, yellows, and this is one that's definitely been on my radar as one that I wanted to pick up for a while, so I'm excited to have this in my collection. I haven't reached into that one at all, but you guys know I love Ensley Rain palettes. I love their formula, and I will, once I finally finish testing all of my Ensley Rain palettes, I will come with an Ensley Rain ranking at some point. But I also picked up the Lands of Enchantment palette. I feel like I pretty easily said no to this one last year. It could be that this one is very high priced too, but I feel like that I've been side-eyeing this one ever since, and it really does have some of those like really ethereal, especially like ethereal sparkly shades that I personally love. Like I am so excited for Light Language. That looks like kind of like one of those UV purple type of shades. Divine Light. We have Shattered Stars, which is like a blue brown, which we love a blue brown, and we've got some really beautiful deeper blues down here too that I think I'm just going to absolutely love. I think this color story is really fun. I feel like I've seen really good things about this palette. It is definitely a larger one, but I'm excited to test and try this one as well. Okay, because this video is forever and a freaking day long, I am going to link my Sephora VIB haul down below. I'll also leave my follow-up haul to that down below as well, because it's just going to take me way too long if I also include all of the products that I hauled during the Sephora sale. I will include it when I give you my beauty bank totals at the end of this. I'm so embarrassed and scared to see. I really haven't even done the math yet. I haven't even done the math yet. I'm gonna have to do that before we wrap this video up. But going into the month of November, my beauty bank was at -19, meaning that I had brought in 19 more makeup products than I had emptied out this month. So I hauled everything in that Sephora VIB sale haul, and then on top of that, And then on top of that, we can start with a couple Ensley Rain's products that I also picked up since we're on the topic of Ensley Rain. And I wanted to try a couple other products from them. Ooh, I did pick up one of their single shadows. This is in the shade Nordic Breeze. This looked like a really beautiful kind of cool toned pink sparkly shade. And I was just kind of curious about this. So I grabbed that, but I won't count that. I'm not counting a single shadow in my beauty bank tallies, but these three will count. So I definitely wanted to try some of their makeup products, and they have so many lip products. And I grabbed two of their lip glosses. So I picked up the shade Fairyland, which is actually what's on my lips today. I do have it on top of my Baddest Beige lip liner. Oops, Baddest Beige lip liner from e.l.f. I'm gonna add a little bit more. And so far I've been really happy with this gloss formula. I will say it looks separated when you use it, but the brand says that's literally how it's supposed to be. And then you kind of just like pump it to mix it together. And this one is definitely more just like a clear gloss, a bit of a sparkle. It does have, it's very, very smooth, but I feel like some people would say it's a little bit thicker, but it's not like a distracting thick, and it's just, it's so smooth. I've been super happy with this thus far. And then I also picked up the shade Hollow Gorgeous, which is this fun pink. I just thought this would be fun, something a little bit different than what I have in my collection. I haven't used this one yet, but I am excited to, because, you know, I feel like I'm getting more into color, like I said. And then I wanted this one. This is the, I think, Off With Their Heads. Yes, Off With Their Heads Plumping Lip Oil. And this is kind of like a black lip oil. I've used this once. It wasn't like a super painful lip plumper by any means. And you can really use a black lip oil to just like cool down a lip look, or just add like a little bit. It almost, with nothing on your lips, it almost makes your lips look like a purple, but not like a cold purple. I don't know. I really like the effect. And I'm not ever, I don't think I'm ever gonna be the type of person that has like a fully opaque black lip, but this is like an approachable, cooler toned dark lip in my opinion. And I thought it would be like a fun look with, say, something like this, like say something like a really cool toned or blue eyeshadow look. I thought it could be really fun. So I picked this up, and I've only used it the one time, and it wasn't even with like a makeup look. Like I got this in the mail, and I'm pretty sure my makeup was like off for the day, and I was just unpacking it, and I just put this on to kind of see, and I was really into it. Okay, speaking of getting more into like liquid lipsticks and things like that, I had the Ulta gift card, and Julia Adams is beautiful, and she really can sell me on a lot of things. So she did this really gorgeous look, and I'm gonna need a Haus Labs lip product to finish off like exactly what she did, but I'm trying to like use up some lip products before we go down that route. But she lined her lips in this, I can't remember which video it was, but it was this lip liner from MAC, Root For Me. And she did, oh my gosh, her lips so freaking beautiful. This is a very deep brown, but it almost has like a bit of like a red in it. It's so gorgeous. I actually wore this one night, and I paired it with one of the Kaleidos lip products, and I loved the way that that looked. So I'm excited to continue to play around with just like different things on my lips than just like a gloss like today. Today's not a good example, but I'm excited for this because this is so far outside of my comfort zone and so different from what I normally do. And I'm excited to kind of step out and do something a little bit different. And then I also grabbed the shade Make Love to the Camera. This is the Powder Kiss liquid lip color, and I kind of was looking for something a little bit deeper and a little bit vampy. And I know that I like this formula because, as I said, I have MAC Over the Taupe, and I just feel like it is almost like a lip stain that kind of looks like a lip blur on your lips. There it is, like blurred out, but I think I can build this up to be a little bit more vampy and deep, but it does leave a bit of a stain on the lips too. Very comfortable because it is that more like velvety matte formula that doesn't just like uber dry down the lips, and I am a big fan, so I'm excited to try a new color. I'm excited to have something a little bit bold and not just always do a plain lip. And then speaking of lip colors, Heather Austin in a video was talking about this, and I literally logged on to Melt while still watching the video to order this. It is their liquid lipstick in the shade Thirst for Blood, and she described this as just like the perfect true red shade. I have yet to use this on the lips, but I was like, I absolutely need that. I feel like it's, you know, the perfect time of year because we love a red lip for the holidays. There it is swatched right there. It almost looks a little bit pinky in the swatch, but I think with the lip liner and on the lips, I'm so excited for this. Like the video clip that Heather included of her with that on, so gorgeous. So I did pick that up, and I completely failed my these products I'm no longer buying list that I updated you on in June, because I said I was only going to buy 3 lip liners, but so many people have been talking about the Freck Makeup Club lip liner, and Samantha March did a video, a Sephora like VIB get ready with me, and she had the shade 1, and I'm going to be careful opening this because I know a lot of people have had theirs break, and it just looked like the perfect lip liner. Like, I love a brown nude, so I had to get this. Obviously had to get it. So I did pick this up. If I didn't say, this is in the shade 1. Okay, those are all the lip products. I did pick up a couple more things from e.l.f. I picked up their peach color corrector because I have been needing a peach color corrector at the end of the day, and I'm very, very, very happy with this. So no regrets there. With my Ulta gift card, I also did pick up their Matte Veil Longwear Eye Primer. Kelly Gooch has talked a lot about this, and I'm just, you know, dabbling in other eye primers, and I'm just curious about this one, so we'll see about that. And then finally, I did get to redeem my Sephora points for the like $100 Sephora gift card. I'm so embarrassed, you guys. I know this is embarrassing for me. But when my daughter and I were like swatching all the things in Sephora, I went and swatched the Huda blush filter, and I swatched specifically the shade Strawberry Cream, and I thought this was such a unique blush shade. And now I'm gonna swatch and be like, girl, why'd you think that was unique? There it is right there. It is really just more of like a pinky shade. I don't know, something about this Sephora lighting made this look like, maybe it was also the outer packaging, made it seem like something that I did not have. And I know Julia Adams has raved about this blush formula, so I'm curious about it. And we'll see. And I did not need this freaking at all. This is the Giorgio Armani, I can't speak at this point, we've been filming so long. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Perfector Glow Concealer. I wanted this when this first came out, like last year or 2 years ago, didn't buy it. Then I swatched it in store when I was in store during the Sephora sale. Didn't buy it because I was like, I don't need a concealer, but instead I purchased the Givenchy. And then when I had the gift card, I was like, oh, why didn't I just get the Armani concealer that I didn't get and feel like I still need. Okay, this has a very interesting applicator, really interesting, and I don't know if I'm even going to be able to like catch it on screen. It's kind of weird. I don't know that I love this concealer, which makes me so mad. It does. I've only used it 3 times, so the jury's still out, but I don't know. We'll see. That is finally everything that I have purchased. I'm gonna go do some math and I'll be back. When I went to go tally everything up, I was like looking at my listing out of products because I try to like input things into my note as they come in, and I totally forgot I bought, and I already threw away the box, but there was a Bobbi Brown face base set at Ulta that I got with my gift card that comes with 2 of the vitamin rich face bases, which I just felt like I needed. I've tried samples in the past, not the full size, but I was like, oh, I definitely need that for my dry skin. So I have 2 more primers coming into the collection. Meaning total purchased, I mean, some of it was like, I did have a lot of gift cards, so this is me justifying myself, but 32 makeup products, that's too much. But I'm trying to be transparent. I'm trying to show you this is a moment for me that's like not a proud moment for someone who like is trying to have like a managed collection for a content creator. All right, I do actually have some things, some empties. Nothing that is going to make up for what just happened, but currently the beauty bank is at -51, meaning I have brought in 51 more products than I have emptied out this year. Please don't roast me in the comments. I get it. But I will also say I haven't used up as much makeup this year, but I feel like I've been better about cycling through my collection. I don't think I'm gonna get to 100 makeup empties by this year end. I don't think so at all, but that's okay. Anyway, let's get into the products that I actually did use up. I have 2 primer empties, which is really exciting. I have the Nabla Angel Aura Radiant Plumping Primer, and then I also have the Merit Great Skin Instant Glow Serum Primer. The Nabla was absolutely not a favorite of mine. This won't be a repurchase. I actually ended up using this as like a body glow rather than on my face, just because this is a more sticky and very distracting product, and I just did not like it as a primer. But the Merit Great Skin Instant Glow I would have repurchased, but they actually did send me another one of these, so I have another one. going. And I love this because I put this on my skin and then I go do my eyeshadow, and it's like a drink of water for my skin. And then usually I do go in with like a gripping primer afterwards. But this product I really came to love, and this is something that when I get through the next one, I would consider purchasing again, because I really do feel like this adds such value to my personal skincare and makeup routine, and I really enjoy using this every day. And actually, you guys, sorry, I have 5 primer empties. Got it. Okay, well, I have this little mini baby from Too Faced, the Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. I've used a full size of this in the past. It's just not a favorite. I definitely have someone who prefers something that is gripping over hydrating, because I can get hydration out of my skincare, so I wouldn't purchase that again. All right, then I have the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. I had the deluxe size. I will say I don't know how to get like this cap off, but like nothing comes out. So it looks like there's definitely still product coating the walls, but I literally don't know how to get the cap off and nothing comes out. So this is an empty. This was fine. This was nice. I feel like this blurred slightly, but not as much as like my Tarte smoothing primer. So I wouldn't necessarily use this again for a blurring primer. And this did have a bit of a tack to it, but I think that the e.l.f. gripping primers work just as fine, if not better, for a grip. So I wouldn't personally purchase this again, but I'm excited to have yet another primer empty. Primer is an area that I feel like I actually am like really honing in on, even though I just purchased the 2. Like, I feel like I'll get use out of those Bobbi Brown ones, I promise. Why did I just do this? But I know like my pore filling primer, my tried and true, is the Tarte Timeless. Maybe I would have like one other pore filling primer to test and try at a time. The hydrating primer I love is, oh my gosh, I do really like the Denesomerics. I also, at least from what I've sampled, I like the Bobbi Brown. But then I mostly am looking for a gripping primer, and the e.l.f. is just like there for me, and it's such a good primer. So I feel like I could really make a dent and hone in on like actually having a curated primer collection at the end of next year. I love primer too, but yay. Yay, girl, you can do it. Anyway, the last primer empty I have is actually one of the e.l.f. ones. It's the Power Grip Primer, the niacinamide one. I really enjoyed this. I have the e.l.f. Jelly Pop still going in my collection, so I don't need to run out and instantly repurchase this. And if I could get e.l.f. Jelly Pop, I would, ooh, if between this and e.l.f. Jelly Pop, I honestly, either. Jelly Pop is slightly more glowy, which I like. So that's why I tend to think I would purchase Jelly Pop over niacinamide, but I like both of these equally for the most part. And honestly, either one. Either one, I think they have excellent grip to them. I also really like the LYS gripping primer, and may one day purchase that again, because that's literally like super glue for your face. But the e.l.f. is like $8 to $10, depending on if you can get it on a sale. Is it 8 or is it 10? I think maybe it's 10, but you can find things on sale sometimes. This is my gripping primer, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I finished up a spray. It is the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Veil Mist, but I actually had the e.l.f. Dewy Spray in here. I had finished up my Peach and Lily. Would not personally repurchase that. I think it's a nice mist, but I don't really think it did anything for me other than like hydrate the skin a little bit, and it's a very expensive mist. The e.l.f. Dewy I liked, but at the end it really, I don't know if I just like wasn't shaking it up enough, or like the majority of the glowy part was all that was left. But it was one of those things where like you could tell, it almost looked like splatters on your face. Like you could tell where it was like glowier, where it wasn't as glowy, because there was like splats of glow on the face. And I was like, oh, this is not the most flattering thing I've ever seen. So I don't necessarily know that I would purchase that one again, but then I'm looking for a glowy spray. So if you have any glowy spray recommendations, let me know. I have like my perfect setting spray, but I need like a glowy mist, because sometimes my face is just looking really dry, and a just straight mist isn't adding like the little bit of a glow that I want. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. But excited to have another mist empty for the end of the year. I do have a mascara empty. It is the Ilia Fullest Volumizing Mascara. I do think this is a nice mascara. I personally prefer the Ilia Limitless Mascara. That is one of my favorites, but obviously I'm always going to use up a free mascara, and this one did a lot for volume. I typically like to layer my mascaras as well, and this was like the volumizing step in my mascara cocktail, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm not going to like run out and repurchase this, but happy to have a mascara empty. And then the final empty I have to share with you guys is from Lanolips. It is the 101 ointment, and this was in Glazed Donut. This definitely was very sweet. It definitely had kind of like a maple sugary glazed donut sort of like scent to it. Not so much a taste. Like I don't really feel like it had like an off-putting taste or anything. I do really like the Lanolips treatment. It is very thick, very moisturizing, and very hydrating. So in a cold climate like Minnesota, this does absolutely come in handy. I will say, I love my Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve, but I think I will at some point purchase another one of these to have in my car as well, just because for those really, really dry lip days, especially like when we get into like the end of January or like the dead of February, it's really nice to have something just ultra hydrating. And this does add a beautiful gloss to the lips as well. So at some point I will repurchase this, but I've purchased so many things and I have so many lip products right now that I would like to hold off maybe a little bit. Maybe I'll wait till like February, but I really enjoy this. And if you were looking for an ultra hydrating lip treatment, I highly recommend the Lanolips. My camera battery is about to die. Yep, one video we didn't even get through. Like this video took more than a camera battery. But while I switch my camera battery out, I will also see where the beauty bank total really ends. Be right. All right, if I've moved, you know why. I just did the math and I finished 8 makeup products to the 32 that I brought in, plus PR, but we're not talking about PR. So that means that my beauty bank is at -43 going into December. I'm also just trying to think, like I don't feel like I have a ton of additional makeup products that I will empty out before the end of the year. So it is really kind of interesting to see. Like I feel like I've been a little bit more strict with like my beauty budget in the past. It is really interesting to see kind of the difference of this year versus other years, and I will be very, very curious to see where my makeup inventory ends this year compared to like even midway through the year. It'll be really interesting to see that. But that is everything for today's makeup rehab update. Thank you for bearing with me till the end. Thank you for coming from a non-judgmental place, I hope. But that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.